Okay, if we had a Big Bang Theory contest podcast, okay, 30 seconds on the clock. I'm gonna pitch one. I'm gonna say Big Hang Theory because we're hanging out.
That was gonna be a podcast about Sheldon's penis.
Big Hung Theory, you mean?
Yeah.
Honeys, we're home.
Hello, and welcome to Sinclairity A Dinosaurs Tale, a podcast about the show Dinosaurs from the 90s. I am your host. We're going to need another Timmy along with my co-host.
Hey, I'm Ben Hand Up Me, fan favorite, crowd pleaser, womanizer, old friendly miser. What's up?
How old are you?
That's this old. Wait, are you doing like a stand-up bit?
Oh, you said you're old. So
hey, I'm old enough to party. Make lovin'.
Make lovin'. That's
yeah,
right.
I saw Superbad, so for the first time.
You just saw it.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I think it's crazy that they're still so young, that they made the movie years ago, and they still look that age when I watched it. They didn't get any older in it.
It's called movie magic.
Oh, that's what's your favorite movie, Tim?
Of all time?
I don't know. Up until this point in your life,
I'd have to say The Stupids.
I mean, Jessica Lundy is one of our favorite people. She's in this episode. It's a good call. So I think that my favorite movie is it's called Kill Bill Volume 4, and it's about Uma Thurman explaining what our podcast is and like where to like find us on social media.
Oh yeah, what did she say?
I know that for your audition for SNL you did an Uma Thurman impression, and I know you mostly stuck to like Pulp Fiction, but like I think you can do it.
That
is that
square?
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna start a thing about television pilots.
Rectangle or drugs.
Drugs
coming back to life.
Being straight edge. She was famously straight edge in that movie.
Kill Bill 4, huh?
Yeah, let's hear your impression of it.
I have a sword. That's it.
If you remember the premise I set up, which is that the movie is about somebody explaining what our podcast is. Our podcast is we have swords. You said what we did? Oh yeah, you did say we talk about dinosaurs, but
yeah.
What season are we on? We're on season 4.
Yeah, we're on season 4, episode 10. Variations.
This should be like this should be an episode that people should start on. 81 episodes into our podcast.
Definitely 81 episodes in. We're on the death march to the end of this show.
Yeah, and I think we got to try to get Tim Turbovic to come write our last episode. He likes the one that shit, putting things to bed for good.
Yeah, but he didn't even do this one.
No, he didn't. We had a gentleman by the name of Jeff McCracken directed this episode, which was filmed August 4th, 1993.
Release the McCracken.
Okay, so here's the thing.
That's what they did.
I decided I have not been giving these people enough, I haven't been looking into it too much with these people, like a good bio on the beautiful people who brought us this show.
That's right. People want that information.
I've been lacking on the McCracken particularly. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, you need more lip smacking.
Yeah, lip smacking for McCracken. I don't want to be slacking or lacking. And so let's get packing and attacking.
Wow. A modern day Eminem.
Shacking. Cracking, boom bapping, but orange door hinge. It's like, you idiot. People said there's not a word that rhymes with orange on its own. You can't just be like, I can make 2 words kind of rhyme. Like, that's not the answer. Like, he would fail at so many tests. That's why, me and him are both high school dropouts, and there's a reason.
Right.
because we're fucking best MCs of all time. That's the reason. But one could say that Jeff directed and produced a few episodes of Dinosaurs, and subsequently quite a few episodes of Boy Meets World. One could say that, and one would be right. However, there is much more to be said about the life and times of Jeff McCracken. And if you, dear listener, give me $20, Tim, I'll be the sorry son of a bitch to have said it. And if you don't have $20, that's fine. I will just do it for the attention like I do everything else. That's right. Well, Tim, you still have to pay, but for everyone else, the attention. So here we go. Are you ready for this? You want to dig into this guy's life story?
No, but go ahead.
I'm setting a scene. The scene is Chicago. So picture Shameless or something. So or like the band The Broadways. They're from there. So Jeff McCracken grew up in Chicago, which is why he ended up an adult one day and felt the need to enlist in the Air Force. People say the Air Force is gay, and that makes sense to me. Because after leaving the Air Force, Jeff McCracken started studying theater and acting at different playhouses and theater companies in New York City, also known as First City. He ended up doing some Broadway type shit and got involved with film and television because he was rocking people's shit with all these related mediums. Wait, let's back up a few decades real quick, because I'm learning stuff about this guy as I'm writing this down. I forgot to mention that he was born on September 12th, 1952, a day late and a buck short, if you ask me. 20 years after that, his grandpa died. Who cares? Somebody does, because his grandpa was none other than infamous jazz clarinetist Bob McCracken. And he looks kind of racist in this photo right here that I'll show you, Tim.
Yeah, I can't even, you got rid of the photo.
See how it looks kind of racist? But it turns out dude wasn't even racist at all. Or probably a little bit because he's white back then. And yeah, probably everyone. But as you can see in this picture of him playing alongside Trummy the Yummy Young and old Louis Frog Eyes Armstrong himself, he got along with people. He was doing good. So
look at him.
Basically, he had this guy Jeff had this grandpa who somehow made it seem cool and socially acceptable to play clarinet while being white at the same time. So it's easy to see why Jeff felt pressure to be a huge success in the entertainment world.
It's a struggle.
He had something to prove, and he did so by directing more episodes of Boy Meets World than anyone else ever did, like 51 of them. And like also, Dinosaurs was a piece of cake for a guy like Jeff because it wasn't his first rodeo. Tim, you know why? Because he did fucking rodeo, literal rodeo for years. He was a professional rodeo guy, not a clown like Bobby Hill. He was a horseman. It says technically. I think cowboy's like diminutive or something or like reductive. But he did a lot of cutting and rodeoing. And I just did one of those in my youth. And it's a love he developed while visiting his great uncle's Texas ranch when he was a boy. Also, he was an amateur boxer in New York City with 3 undefeated fights before realizing he liked his marbles, which I think means brains, but I'm not the person who wrote that. Or he just wanted to play marbles, which is like, I don't know. I've seen the movie Hook where that old lady's looking for her marbles everywhere because she lost them. Or it's an old man. I really can't tell. At that age, it doesn't matter. But yeah, he's also an accomplished painter whose work has been featured in international art magazines. His recent paintings focus on individuals being private in a public place, which is kind of weird, which captures that fleeting moment where the inner humanity is revealed regardless of who they are or where they're from. So basically what I'm saying, it seems like a good guy, spectacular fellow, you know. Well, that's because I've been a little dishonest as a narrator up to this point. I've been kind of cagey with an important detail or flaw that might change the way you think, you being Tim and the audience, about Jeff McCracken, which is he only grew to be 6'4" before he gave up and stopped getting taller. And that's 1 inch shorter than me. Ben hand up me. So you either die a hero or you live long enough to be long enough and be exposed for not being tall. And you could have been, and it's a shame. So I'm glad that this is a series, right? This is like the last one with Jeff McCracken because he's slacking.
Good job, Ben. I'm glad you finished your book report on Jeff McCracken.
So who wrote this episode, Jim?
Jane Espenson.
Okay, so don't worry. As a sexist, I didn't write as much about her.
I thought I was going to say Epstein.
No relation. So years before she invented the name of the drink Zima while working for a marketing firm, Jane Amanda Epstein.
She's a hero.
Was born in Ames, Iowa. Yeah, she invented being gay and drunk. So
is that like a famous Amos?
No, it's like AMES, Iowa.
So like AMC theaters.
Yes, that's exactly what this city is named after. Well, that happened on July 14th, 1964, like her birth and shit. And since then, she has only grown to be 5'3" which I don't know why it was that accurate. She's not a baseballer. Like, she's not like a sports stat person. Like, why do they have her down to the 1/4 inch? But I can't figure out, like, I read her whole history and there's nothing that says why she stopped at that height. But that's how tall she is. And she stayed that way since she got there, like fucking 30, 40, 50 years ago. But the fun doesn't end there, because check this shit out. She was a prominent producer and like co-producer, executive producer for Buffy, Battlestar Galactica, Torchwood, Gilmore Girls, pretty much anything that me and my fellow virgins watch. She like produced and wrote for. Game of Thrones,
especially, yeah, virgins.
Yeah, so you know, she didn't do any rodeoing as far as I know, and her grandpa wasn't a not racist white jazz guy, but she did write this episode, and it's I mean, it's an easy episode to write in my opinion, but still, she did it. She's one of the greats. She was part of the ABC's like writing fellows, where they like had a group of writers that they hired that could work on whatever shows they had going on for, like, it's like a diversity program they were trying to do. And she was, is that
why they called them all fellows?
Yeah, she was representing people that were 5'3" I think.
Was that the only requirement for this job? Is how tall you were?
Yes. Well, they wanted to get one person for each 1/4 inch between 5'1" 1/4 inch and 5'10" 1/4 inch.
We should just switch to the metric system, Ben.
What is that easier?
Mm-hmm.
What is 5 inches in metrics?
I don't know.
See, you're not ready to switch. When you're ready, we'll switch.
I think we can all be ready.
I'm going to let you do the summary, because I just did a lot of talking, and mommy's got to get some wine or something.
Yeah. So this episode is about the Sinclairity family take a 2-week vacation at a theme park called We Say So Land, but find out that it's a wasteland of unfinished rides and overly high prices. When the family ends up trapped inside the park, They become closer than they've ever been.
We're done with this. Here we go. I'll do it. I gave you a shot. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Look, you just read something off IMDb. It's embarrassing. Here's the summary that I wrote for you. Upon pondering the role capitalism played in the death of yet another dinosaur on the job, Roy accidentally invents vacation hours. Before Roy and Earl can enjoy 2 weeks of nonstop TV binging, Richfield builds a theme park designed to rob We Say So employees of their vacation pay and more. In this week's episode of Dinosaurs.
That's right. We got another evil capitalism episode.
Yeah. And I like that guy who just did that voice, even though he messed up 2 of the words pretty bad.
You should probably shouldn't pay him.
I pay him in kisses.
Pay him less kisses.
Oh, but I need them so bad. I'm so sad.
Hershey kisses?
No, I don't like. No, come on. I don't trick people. I don't have doll hairs like ready to go. Like I people want kisses, they get kisses. They want dollars, they get dollars.
You don't have any moo bucks?
No moolah cash, you know.
Moo bucks.
Young money moolah. Young moolah millionaires. Bitch, I'm a cow. So basically, this episode is just like obvious. It says in the trivia this episode is widely believed to spoof the Walt Disney Company. And like apparently it's because of the exhaustion of the maintaining the show's quality, which they tried so hard to do. And Disney kept insisting on unreasonable budget cuts, like maybe don't be so expensive. Finally canceled the show because the makers couldn't accommodate them. I mean, they gave them like 65 episodes. The fuck else they're supposed to do for them? Like nobody ever gives me 65 episodes.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what? Be great.
We only have 81.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like I mean that people know exist.
Right.
Out there on ABC, which our podcast does get aired on ABC at 1 a.m. So
on the TV channel, there's just audio. There's a still picture.
It's audio. It's like that end of production broadcast day image shit going on, but it's our audio. Yeah, if you play it backwards.
I wonder what scenes they took out of here. I'm very curious.
I don't know. I wonder if there's like a way to find all the scenes. You know what I mean?
Oh, because there's very little behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, because I like maybe I'll email or tweet or text Tim Doyle about that question, because I believe the DVD rips are all like this, pretty much the same as what's on Disney Plus for the most part. Like I watch both back and forth because you can't take screenshots of Disney Plus because like Silverlight or whatever protection they have from DRM free shit. And like so I have to use the VLC to like get my actual screen grabs for anything I post.
Well,
don't tell Disney.
We don't. Well, they already did. They made fun of Disney on their own show. So,
well,
good
then
work.
I guess we're allowed to do it too. We'll be like Shrek. Here's my thing.
Shrek
Was
isn't
Disney like in the 90s? Was Disney like worse than it is now or something?
What do you mean?
Like all these rides don't seem to exist.
No. I mean, it would take a couple of months, maybe a year before, a new ride would pop up, but they were there.
When was Disney World created?
Like Disney World?
Yeah, World, not Land. World. The newer one. World's newer, right?
It was like
I know the answer already.
It was like the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1971. So
Yeah.
I wonder if like maybe when all these people went that wrote for the show when they were younger, all the rides were just not existent yet and they were still building them all.
This would have been a perfect episode to have our good friend at Defunctland.
I've never seen it. Is it any good?
Yeah.
We didn't do a whole like 10 episodes on it or some shit.
No.
on a thing that's already just a review of something essentially. But in a way, I mean, like he's a professional. We're just amateurs, so I can't even compare.
Exactly.
But yeah. So this episode, I would say, not mentioned in the trivia. There was a book that came out in 1992 called Variations on a Theme Park, which both of these are like a play on variations on a theme, which is a thing in like classical music, at least, which I don't know what it means. I just know like there's like variations of a theme on a theme of Chopin and of Corelli and of Hiller, Mozart, of whatever else is on this Wikipedia article I'm reading. So I seem like a
Spinelli, right?
Spinelli. I'm stopping there.
You almost said, I know what you were gonna say.
I was a kid in my mind back in the day. I have a friend who looks like a 32-year-old version of Spinelli, and she's great. She's same color like beanie, fucking leather jacket. Spinelli's the Recess kid, right?
Yes,
like the punk one.
I was
like Mike, I think is his name in that show.
Like Mike.
Yeah, the big blonde, like, handball.
Handball.
That was me. I wasn't that like fucking Joe Pesci kid, the main boy. I feel like he's a Pesci type.
I forget what his name is.
Let's switch over to our other podcast real quick. The Great Recession.
Reset. The Recess Reset.
Yep. The Recess Reset. Our multicultural take on the show Recess, and we aren't in it. We aren't a part of the show. We just produced it. We're like Tim Armstrong, and it's like the Interrupters. We gave birth to it.
That's right.
Yeah. So here we go. I think that we're ready to get into this episode, and we're ready to like find out what it means to variate a theme park.
Right. So we opened up with Earl and Roy at work, and they find another dead body. And
another.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't learned it yet, but we learn later that it's like a thing.
Oh, okay. I thought I missed something from another episode.
No. And so they find the dead guy, and Roy's just like, well, maybe he's resting, and Earl's just like, for 3 days. This is what happens though. Like, it's kind of like setting it up, right? Because we had the episode with when Earl gets hurt on the job, and then we have the other episode where Charlene's making them work for donuts and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we have a sort of precedent here. with what's
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
not a surprise that OSHA's on the site basically for this episode.
Yeah, which is funny because so that guy comes in, and he's like, looks at Earl, he's like, "Hey, you the dead guy?"
Yeah, he's very convinced that Earl is dead or going to be soon.
Yeah, and he's like, it's so weird. These guys are just dying on the job all the time.
Yeah, it's just like it's appalling, you wouldn't believe the paperwork, thousands of death certificates I got to fill out, but hey, that's life. Well, not for them.
Yeah, and then Roy is just like, maybe it's crazy, but maybe we shouldn't work these guys to the point of exhaustion.
Yeah, he starts to pontificate, just like kind of idly muttering about like maybe if they had a little bit of time off, to take a break longer than lunch, Earl, but not like a year.
Earl loves his lunch, and if he could have a longer one, that would be great, but not 6 months long.
No, shorter.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Nah. Okay, yeah. So you're saying that if we all get 2 weeks off every year to just sort of relax and recuperate, ultimately you'll be healthier and do a better job, and the economic disruption that has plagued the nation will be ended?
Yeah.
I like how people dying at work is an economic disruption.
Definitely.
I'd have more to say about this if I actually read The Jungle by Upton Sinclair for when I was supposed to for school, but I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's about this episode though.
The Jungle Book?
But this is a big problem for me. Upton Sinclair, The Jungle, and then what's his name for The Jungle Book? It's
Rudyard
Kipyard. Rudyard Kipling.
Yipyard.
Or is it Rudland Kipyard or Rudland Kipling? Rudyard Kipling. Yeah, okay. So he wrote The Jungle Book, Rudyard Kipling, and then like Upton Sinclair wrote The Jungle. I'm like, don't y'all know your names are so similar? Like, stop it.
Yeah, they should have known that. He should have checked.
Those are it's like how like Charles Bukowski or Chuck Bukowski has a character named Henry or Hank Chinaski as the main character of his books, where it's like, okay, we get it. You took a name like Charles can be Chuck, Henry can be Hank, and it's weird that they can do those things. And then his name's Chinaski instead of Bukowski. We get it. He's your dad or something.
Sure.
I'm Roy.
Yeah. So then the OSHA guy is like, that's all right. Here you go. Here, slip on this toe tag. He'll speed things up later.
Yeah, he toe tags Earl in advance. So thanks. But yeah, so then we get the theme song. And here's what I did for this episode for the notes is I found this like plugin for Google Chrome, whatever, that like can download the captions from Disney Plus. And then there's several different websites I was able to use to like remove time tags and remove like the things behind brackets and then remove weird spacing. And then I had to still add the names of the characters in like the bold or whatever. But I made a whole script for this episode, which is like was much easier to do compared to like the ones I've been finding online for like the past, year, where like all the subtitles are just like, in this scene, it would have been like, hey, are you the dead guy? And you'd be like, yes, I'm dead. And I'm not Earl at all. And this is a different show. Like all the subtitles were so off that I didn't understand how they got there. But I made like this good version of it. But what I do like is when it gets to the theme song and it's just like tribal music playing, Honey, I'm Home, theme music playing, screaming, grunting, chuckling, exclaims. And then it's just like the next scene.
Screaming.
Yeah. I think it's Ethel.
And yeah.
Yeah. So now we're back. Now we're at scene numero dos.
That's right. And they're eating dinner.
Yeah.
And Earl can't find dinner. And Fran puts it on the table. She puts like a single leg on the table. Oh, and then Robbie comes in. He's like, hey, I'm leaving. He's like, I'm going out with the guys. He's like, don't you want supper? And he's like, no. And then he takes Earl's food.
Yeah, right? Which is probably why he said yes instead of no, like you claimed you said.
Yeah, he takes it. And Earl's like, or not Earl, Fran is like, can you believe this? We never spend time with Robbie.
Yeah, but like it seems like Robbie kind of sucks. So why do they want to?
Yeah, but Earl's like, he's always looking on the bright side. He's like, yeah, that's one of the most rewarding things about parenthood. Eventually they grow up and don't want anything to do with you.
Man,
True.
that's what I'm looking forward to with whenever I have kids,
And
It's
then
looking on the brighter side of things.
Charlene comes in. She's like, sorry, I'm late. It's like, I didn't know you were out. She's like, yeah, I've been gone all day.
Which I thought this was leading into another one of those like middle child problem things where like nobody pays attention to her, but she just like doesn't care that they didn't notice she was gone. She already had dinner. Like she's just like, fucking peace out, guys. Too bad.
But
La,
she
la,
also
la.
but she also takes Earl's whatever is on Earl's plate.
Wow.
She-
I like how she says too bad, but see, I was so focused on these subtitles.
Yeah, she takes it because then we get to see Earl like looks down at his plate and he has like a bunch of rolls or something and he realizes all the food is gone.
Yeah, but that sounds like me at a Texas Roadhouse or something. Just a bunch of rolls and I don't care about nothing else.
Yeah, but Fran is like, she's so frustrated. She's like, oh my God, I swear this family's falling apart. We might as well just be strangers and live in the same house.
You see what happened here is there is a law where they have to let certain people write for female characters, and the person that they had assigned to write for her died 4 seasons ago. So she just says the same thing every 3 episodes.
Yeah, and then talks about how they would eat dinner for like an hour. Like, who has time for that? And
yeah, that sounds awful.
Unless you're at a restaurant and you're waiting on your food, that makes sense. But God.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so lonely lately, though. I would love to spend an hour with anyone, Tim.
I don't want to talk while I'm eating. I just want to eat.
That's true. You do eat weird too. You eat weird stuff.
I don't know what that means, but
not meat. I'm one of those guys now. Bacon, bacon, bacon.
Bacon, bacon, bacon.
It's my personality. But baby ate,
Yeah, and she's like, what do you mean you already ate? What did you eat? He's like, you're not gonna like it.
It wasn't furniture, was it? Maybe.
Oh, God.
Man, we're not inviting baby back on the show.
What did he eat?
I don't know, because I'm gonna assume he probably ate Earl's actual chair, and that's why Earl has to use just those pillars that he sits next to.
That's right, that makes sense.
But Earl says this is why they don't need a pet, because they already got this baby, and he probably still misses Sparky.
They eat a lot of furniture.
Yeah. But we get an announcer on the big TV, Howard Hand Up Me. We now interrupt your dinner to bring you this DNN special report. In a bold move to stem the tide of exhausted dead guys in the workplace, the government announced that starting today, all employees will be entitled to take off from work for a period of time to be known as a vacation. And they get this good screen that I want to post on Instagram when we post this episode of like the news report that says too many dead guys on it.
Too Many Dead Guys is my new band. Too Many Dead Guys.
It's like too many chefs, too many cooks, whatever. I'm hip.
And while they're doing it, while
while they're doing it,
all the dead guys, and while Howard Hand Up Me is like reading the report, he's like, "Oh, okay, well, see you later." He just
yeah, he realized this applies to him too.
So society just like ends. Like everyone took the same 2 weeks off.
Yeah, hopefully they figure out that they don't have to do it that way eventually. I mean, I guess hibernation, it could work in that kind of way, but these aren't mammals.
And Fran's just like, oh my God, 2 weeks? Like, wasn't that what she was just like begging for? Like,
pretty much
away from work, but she's like, 2 weeks.
She's like, I forget the plot for a second. And Earl's just like, darn right, 2 solid weeks in front of the old TV.
But instead, we get an ad like immediately. So this company just jumped right on it. Like all the companies who sold masks when COVID broke out.
Well, let's be honest. This company is probably also owned by We Say So, even though it's not addressed. That's the only conglomerate.
He's like, hey there, friends. Are you wondering to do with your new vacation? Well, why not spend 2 weeks of wholesome family togetherness communing with nature at Pop Geezer's rustic retreat swamp cabins and condo timeshare?
Yeah, it sounds like a scam.
Yep. And Fran's like, that's what we're doing. And Earl's like, yep, I'm going to watch TV.
Yeah, he misunderstands her point entirely. But she's like, she remembers what she's supposed to be griping about every episode. And she says they're going to go to the swamp cabins and they're going to get rid of the distractions from their daily life, such as the television, which we've already had this whole episode too a few times about getting rid of TV.
Yeah, and he's like, well, we can't do that. It's like, I'll be away from the TV. I'll miss all the special reports.
Yeah, what if he misses very special episodes of like Roseanne or Dinosaur Roseanne? I mean,
right.
That'd be sad.
But they want to go to the swamp, which is weird because they already live in one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's that. They basically they don't know anything. It's like being in Ohio and going on vacation to Florida. Like, congratulations, you played yourself. Everything is the same, but there's a beach.
Right.
And life's a beach, so I get it.
Life is grand.
But speaking of life being a beach, we switched to work and we're in Mr. Richfield's office, where he's like fucking like, I guess you've probably heard about this new vacation thing.
Yeah, he's like, so you know what? We got it covered, guys. And so he clicks a thing, and there's like a whole map of We Say So Land, and they're all like, wow. And Roy's like, I could spend 2 weeks just looking at that.
Maybe even 3 whole weeks.
Yeah, Turtle Puss, we know you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
And Richfield's like, no, you idiots. There's a picture of We Say So Land.
I'm only going to explain this once.
What's a theme park, sir?
It's a magical place for We Say So employees to spend their vacation and their money. So it's a trap.
Yeah, basically. Roy says, vacations were only created yesterday, sir. I was wondering, how is it possible for you to design and construct a world-class family result in a single day?
No challenge is too great when you attack with imagination, ingenuity, and a relaxed attitude towards building codes. So here's the thing. That's called like hanging a lampshade, like that trope where like there's an unbelievable plot point, so somebody has to point it out to make it like, oh, so the characters also think it's unbelievable. That's good. I was worried that they just didn't write good. And now you don't have to realize they didn't write good.
Yeah.
But that's just exposition for you.
Earl's worried. He's like, well, the wife wanted to go to the cabins. And Richfield's like, he uses like reverse psychology on this man.
Which I don't know why. Like, he just could have directly been like, hey, you go here, don't fuck them kids.
It's like, yeah, you bring your kids here, they'll probably get lost or something. You don't have to deal with them.
Yeah, he just frames it as if he's saying something negative, but like, he knows Earl.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to frame it that way. He's even more direct when he's talking about, like, he's like, anyway, see that manipulation I just did? Do this to your wife too.
Yeah, so he basically gives him a brochure with all the toy stands and the candy stands circled in red just to give to the baby, because he knows baby.
He says he's a precocious little lad.
Yeah. So we get it, and immediately baby's there, and it's like, oh my god, We Say So Land.
Baby's not at work. Let's be clear. Baby's home.
No, yeah, there, it's home. And,
the scene has changed.
Baby's crying, and friend's like, you know what? No, we'll go to the We Say So Land next year.
Yeah, he's 3, so that sounds impossibly like far away. There is no next year. There's only now. There's
literally no next year.
Yeah, literally no next year. Oh God, I didn't think about it in that context. This episode was released afterwards too.
Yep, and baby won't shut up. So next scene, there's baby's yelling again, and Fran's like, there it is. Do you see it? It's right there, you precious little We Say So Land.
Yeah, and as someone who isn't a parent, I could tell her this is bad parenting. She could do better.
Thank you, Mama.
So Earl's just glad that all's well that ends well, and Fran somehow knows where Earl got the brochure and that it was him who did it, and like there's no explanation for that too, and they don't even hang a lampshade on that. They just let it be bad writing out in the open.
Right. And she's just like, why are you always undermining me? But Earl's just like, what are you talking about? Don't you know that this family doesn't even want to be together?
Yeah, we don't like each other. This is stupid. But and he also even like goes so far as to like tell the kids like, hey, by the way, also if we get separated, like fucking like don't come find each other. Just hang out for 2 weeks. And
I mean, to be fair, the kids don't say, oh no. They're like, yeah, okay.
Like, no, he's right. He's got it all right.
Yeah.
If you're a shitty dad for many years, you will be correct in assuming your kids don't want to be with you. So like, he's figured it out.
Yeah, and then we get introduced to Mula.
Ah, shit. Sorry, he was scary. Mulat's terrifying.
Mula the cash cow. Yeah, and he's he's utterly delighted to meet them.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of his puns, at least. I like that shit. He reminds me of fucking Doja Cat. Love it.
And yeah, baby's terrified. And but then Mula's just like, hey dad, step right up and pay for admission.
Yeah, he's the because Earl explains, like, don't worry, Junior, it's the Moolah the cash cow. We say so lands whimsical and highly copyrighted park mascot.
Movie.
So I'm guessing that they just weren't a movie. I'm guessing they were not allowed to do anything very odd. They couldn't put Goofy in it.
No, yeah, they can't have the disgraced Goofy
or the mouse. The disgraced Goofy, what'd he do?
Or it was the Tigger, I think it was.
Oh, the one who fucking like socked that kid?
Something like that.
I made a gif of that. Was like my my signature on a forum for like years.
Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get to the ticket booth, and it turns out, Ben, does this look familiar? Because it's definitely the 1 hour photo place.
It's the same guy too. It's Tom Sharp.
Yeah. And Earl's like, yeah, we're here for the deluxe 2-week employee vacation package. And he's like,
so you're entitled to a 1% company discount.
So how much do I owe you? He's like, whoa. Slow down, friend. First, you have to trade in your cash for colorful, playful moo money.
You have to separate the consciousness from like, this is like when you go to like those fairs that your school puts on and you have to buy beer tickets, stand in line for the beer tickets, and you have to stand in line with those tickets. They do that at Fest too, but I'm trying to relate to everyone else.
And, but you can't use them for food, merchandise, or emergency medical treatment.
They just buy the tickets and that's it, and then you just have it left over that you spent money on.
And Earl's just like, he is amazed. He's like, "Oh my god, look at this colorful money."
Knows about Bitcoin, so he knows this is this is an NFT.
Hey, he loves fake money, and he's like, "Here you go. You owe us 2,000 moo dollars." But then Fran's like, "Earl, isn't that a lot of money?" And he's like, "Hello, it's not real money."
Yeah, and then Robbie's like, "Oh yeah." The smart kid is like, "Oh, huh, yeah." But we get the terrifying cow back. And he tries to bring everybody over, ushers them over to get a look at the world and how magical it is. But they're doing that whole like picture perfect like trope where it's like a picture of the thing and then it like scoots over and you see the shitty real version of it next to it.
It's being built.
Yeah, it's all like, because they couldn't do it in one day. Roy was right. I'll say it first and last.
He was right. Those people didn't get the 2 weeks off.
Yeah, that's true too. Like these people are all working right now. What's up with their vacation?
Yeah. So then immediately, of course, baby wants to go back to the swamp cabin, which he doesn't. He clearly doesn't.
Yeah.
Why would he?
I don't know, because they just wanted him to have something else to say, I guess.
Yep. So
babies don't know anything.
Then we get to their hotel room in the next scene.
So tell everybody, even the mayor.
And there's cow print all.
It's a sexy fucking room. Let's be real. This is a hot room.
It's small.
It's the adventure suite, baby. I mean, it's come with all. It's not small, by the way, as Earl's wanted to point out. It's packed with wonderful conveniences, like this cute little fridge.
And he opens the fridge and it says, "You have spent $5."
$6, $7, $8.
He's like, nobody touched the fridge.
Yeah, and then Fran finds out that an adventure in sleeping is what the adventure suite is. And Charlene says something for no reason.
She sits on the bed and it moves.
Which I also am into. I don't know. Not too shabby. I hear things too, so I get it.
And then Robbie's like, "Hey, this is a payphone." And then like the voiceover is like, "You have spent 20 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents."
Oh yeah, it's cheaper than the fridge. That's all that matters.
No one touched the phone.
Yeah, and there's a pay toilet too. So this is like Mr. Krabs at the Krabby Patty type shit.
Yeah, the toilet. Some people pay good price for toilets.
I mean, I don't think you could pay. I've never used a pay toilet. That's just my life, I guess. The way I've lived my life so far.
Well, some people pay to be a toilet, Ben.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Senators. Why? Why do you bring them up? Who's told you? Who told you about this?
Don't forget to vote, everybody.
Don't forget to vote. Rock the vote.
But Earl, he's trying to find the bride. So he's like, oh, yes, the only thing that matters. Let me use my cute little bovine remote control.
Hell yeah. I wish I had a remote control that controlled cows.
But then he turns it on and it's just Richfield.
He looks into a different camera depending on what channel it is, too. He's just like doing his whole welcome to We Say So Land, where everybody has a good time because we say so. Haha. And then, like, you know, this is We Say So Land TV. It's a universe of special channels available only within the park. This is channel 1. I assume this must happen at Disney World, and I don't remember because I was too young.
They do have channels but they mostly like show you things to do in the parks or whatever like that.
I don't remember if I stayed in a hotel because we took an RV there, so I feel like we would have stayed in the RV park.
Maybe.
And
I
was 12. Yeah. You got to remember, Tim, you were there somewhere. You were in the area. Yeah. Tell the audience that you're from this area, the area of the We Say So Land.
I wish we had a We Say So Land.
You have a Universal. You have a Disney World. You have a Golden Oaks. Be happy.
I want to get I can't forget my trip to We Say So Land.
I guess we could design those shirts and not sell them like we did with ours. We just let a cat puke on them and then or shit on them. I don't remember which. And then mine were in a house fire.
Yeah.
Sound investment. We should make YouTube videos where we teach people how to make money off merchandise. Because that's how you actually make money, is tricking people into thinking you already do.
Yeah. So the TV is a gimmick, and but Earl keeps trying to change the channel, but it's not. He's on every station, and Fran's like, you know what? We came here to hang out, not to be on TV. So
not to be on TV.
Yeah. So
apparently, I've never been on live TV before.
And so they're like, we're gonna go into the park, you know. And Baby's like, is the cow still out there?
Yeah, I mean the cow is still out there, but he just tells them it's just a fucking dinosaur in a costume, buddy. Chill.
Actually, it's just a person in a cow costume.
No, dinosaur in a cow costume.
Sure.
It'd be way scarier if it was a caveman out there in a cow costume. They'd be like doubly confused.
It can't speak.
It listens to Sublime, no doubt. It listened to the No Doubt song and it stopped speaking.
Mr. Ugg.
Mr. Ugg. Don't mess with the mail, Mr. Ugg.
So we get the next scene.
Finally.
They're at the theme park. Earl's like, now you two run along. Keep an eye on the time and meet right back here at this point in 2 weeks.
I'd like to point out that they're all panting at the beginning of this because they're clearly trying to keep up with Earl, who is already trying to get away from them before he says this.
And Fran's like, well, can't we all go on a ride together? It's like, dude, no one wants to go on a ride.
Yeah. The only thing is the fucking inside of Epcot ball, which is basically what Robbie says. Yeah, I think that's the rocket sled to Tedium. See you there, Mom.
Yep. So they all part off, and they see Roy. They're like, "Hey, Roy." He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I got here yesterday. I've been in this line the whole time."
It's a roller coaster of family fun, without any actual roller coasters.
Yeah, and he's like, Earl's like, "Can we get in line with you?" He's like, "Oh, of course." And Fran's like, "Well, what's it for?"
And they're like, "Well, we've seen this joke in other things, so we're doing it here too. We don't know what the line's for, but it has to be good because it's very long.
9 hours. 9
fucking hours. 9 hour line. I heard that they got the line situation kind of figured out at Disney World nowadays. Like,
they make you pay.
Well, I just know, like, apparently, like, when you go to park, it's super convenient and quick, and like they just really streamlined a lot of shit to the way that, like, I don't know. I haven't been there since I was too young to care. I need to check it out soon. Next time I have $1,000 or whatever the fuck you need to go there.
You have to go there for at least 4 days.
Why? I only want to go to Magical Kingdom.
Nope. You gotta go at least 4 days, and you have to go during the week. So don't even think about going on the weekend.
Tim, do you have a friend who works there? Because I just want to go for free, like a real Florida person does.
I don't have
I knew I should have been friends with that Daniel Miller guy instead of you.
Yeah. And so Fran's like,
Name
well, why
drop.
don't we go see what the line's for? And Earl's like, are you kidding? I'm not losing my spot in line.
Yeah, that's not worth the risk.
And then he looks up, he's like, hey, look, more TV. And then like he's just like, howdy. And he's like, I'm here to tell you about the wonderful We Say So Land attraction. Now be sure to visit the land of the future, coming in only 10 years. Yes,
How
we're still
prescient.
building the dream.
For as long as dinosaurs have imagination and children have discretionary income, We Say So Land will never truly be finished.
Right, and then we just call this sad Robbie.
Yeah. This is a little vignette.
He's sitting in the teacup, and he's like, "Oh wow, isn't this thing supposed to turn around?" And then
The attendant tries to get him pregnant or something. No, he asks, he's like, "Oh yeah, you're not pregnant, are you? All right, shit, fuck. I guess I do my job. Shit, fuck. All right, here we go. All right, you're not pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And,
he
it's
makes
not
it
fun.
spin really slow, and Robbie just sits there, just like, "Oh my god."
Yep. And then we cut back from this vignette to a little vignette of Fran deciding she's gonna leave the boys there to wait on their own, go get some food, and she mentions like, I've got a hungry baby, I gotta get out of here. And then Earl's just like, hey, well, don't expect me to keep your spot in line.
Yeah, and she's like, I just heard someone say that this is the line for stroller rental.
Yep. And they already have one. So baby just calls them stupid on their way away from them. He's like, stupid, like fucking idiots.
Yeah, but he wants a hat like Roy's.
Oh,
So
yeah.
how
Well, who
smart is
doesn't?
he?
Just for everybody listening at home who hasn't seen the episode, Roy is wearing a hat that says, women fear me, fish love me, or something.
Me?
I fuck fish. I've joined in an uneasy alignment or allyship with fish against women.
And
Roy likes to ban fish, is what we're getting at.
so then we get the next scene where
Speaking of stupid,
Fran is looking for food.
all the wrong places.
We get ice on a stick stand.
ISIS?
And Fran's like, yeah, ISIS. Fran's like, that's all you got? He's like, yeah, we're the most powerful terrorist organization in the world.
Yeah, you got here late. You could have got a bag of cold air if you were here earlier.
Cold air.
Infidel. But
He's like, all right, I'll take one. And she's like, oh, looks like all the ice melted.
So what you've actually got for me,
Wet sticks.
and I'm a gay fish.
Yep. And
Right.
baby loves it. He eats the whole stick.
Yeah, and he wants more. And but what's funny is Jessica Lundy does point out like it's $6 and none of that crummy moo money.
Another one. That's what baby says.
Another one bites the baby.
But
Fran fails at her actual food mission, and we got to cut to another little vignette of the rides with Charlene this time.
Yeah, we get Charlene. She's at Mr. Amphibian's rocket thing.
Which is like, I've never been on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, but it does sound way too sexual, just in my opinion.
Oh, you better believe it. He's a toad.
Yeah. And toads are at least like old non-sexual gay gentlemen, or they're like hypersexual young dudes.
I'm the best. Yeah, toad.
Exactly. And they're like, hey, shit, what up? Here comes that guy or whatever.
And Charlene gets in it's basically a We Say So refrigerator box.
Yep.
And she goes in.
And they sell her on Wayfair.
And he goes, oh.
Nope, he just knocks it over. That's the whole ride.
And she's just like Robbie, and she's just like, ow. Like a delayed, like, oh, what am I doing with my life?
This is some Simpsons ass shit happening to these people right now.
Yep. And so finally, I guess 9 hours later, Earl comes up with his stroller.
Yeah, finally won I was about to say won the stroller, but he probably had to pay for a stroller that he just waited in line for forever.
He rented it, so he might have put a down payment on it.
Yeah, he just had to give them his like bank card and like his ID just in case.
Yeah. And he's like, he's like, I waited 9 hours for this, and darn it, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, and he has the right. He calls Fran Miss Cranky Pants and tells her that she's been a downer since they've gotten this place, and it's time for her to think about the kids for once. They're having a great time.
Yeah, they all hate it.
It was like, nope, sucks ass. I could be fucking doing drugs right now at home, but I'm here with you idiots.
Yeah, and Earl's like, what do you mean? We've only been here for a day.
So he's been enjoying it because it just means he's doing anything other than being with his family.
Yeah, and but he's just like, all the great things that this place has to offer, like Moolah's cow milking squirtacular.
Sexual.
Ugh.
That is straight up squirtacular. Even in 1993, when they barely had heard of sex, they knew what that was.
Yeah, and then Robbie's like, "No, Dad, it's not open." And he's like, "Okay, well, what about the Pirates of the Dairy Bell?"
Yeah, I'm guessing that Earl's one of those those
like
people that watched that trial and were way too into Johnny Depp, so he's really into the Pirates of the Dairy Belt.
Yeah, I hear the animatronic Johnny Depp will throw things at you.
I hear that he's still a piece of shit.
Yep.
That's what I hear.
I used to be a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's my favorite bit about Johnny Depp. He's like, I used to be a piece of shit. I mean, I still am, but I used to too. But anyway, so Charlene mentions that it's closed for repairs, and Earl's like, fucking, what about the fantastic journey through the four stomachs, or the haunted slaughterhouse, Salt Lake Mountain?
That's
and
right.
They're just
it is haunted, Earl.
Yeah,
slaughterhouses are places of death.
The slanted hotter slouse. He's like, what about Slaughterhouse 5? Or he's trying to get them to read now.
Yeah, boo. She's like, they don't exist. Like books, Dad. They don't exist.
Yeah, books aren't real. They just have a TV guide. That's it.
Yep. And
this episode's named after a book, so I guess that exists. But Earl's like, oh, okay, so it's not everything on the brochure. It wasn't all the brochure promised. Like, bro, sure. But let's look at this plus side here. We're out here in the fresh air. I've got a wad of move money big enough to choke a cow. And if our stroller breaks down, we got this handy new backup.
Yeah, and Fran's like, we're getting out of here. Earl's like, yeah. So he comes back to the ticket stand. He's like, excuse me, sir. Although we've enjoyed our time at your park tremendously and will no doubt include We Say So Land in future vacation plans, we'd like to leave.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I see. Just pay for the rest of your 14-day package and we'll have you on your way.
It's like, we're only been here for a day. It's a package.
You don't get it, do you? Perhaps if it came from the felt-covered mouth of our charming and legally unassailable mascot here.
Yeah, so Moolah comes back out, scares the baby, asks him, hey, what's your beef?
I like you. You do that voice good. You do the next line.
Yeah. Earl's like, we want to go home. And Moolah's like, look, wise guy, you booked a 14-day package. You got to stay in the park and spend money for 14 days. Capiche? And that's no bull.
I did mess up by setting you up to do the line when the next line was supposed to be him cutting character to be serious and then ending it real quick, but I fucked you over and you had to do it.
Yeah, he went into Italian gangster mode.
Yeah, he went Pesci for a whole minute. But he's like, call security. Oh, don't hurt Moolah. He's just a teenager who needs a summer job, huh?
That's one big teenager.
Yeah, well, they make them bigs now. I was a big teenager, and I lived to tell the tale.
And Earl's trying to go, and then the gate closes, and it's
gate is now electrified. Stand back from the gate. And there's no line. This is not a ride. Then Homer Simpson comes up out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's weird. They brought him in as a multiverse.
Just to say dough. That's weird.
Yep. So
bed moves. The bed's moving still back at the Hotel California.
He can't leave. And Robbie's like, there's no way we can last another day. And
let alone 13.
Another wet stick.
Same.
And he's just like, why am I an idiot? This amusement park is the worst place for a family.
But Fran's got a plan. Earl tells her she's right, but she's like, don't worry. I'm going to Ocean's 11 this shit. And they all start guessing what they're going to do.
Yep. Robbie's like, we're gonna do a daring escape under the cover of darkness.
I can tie a bunch of bed sheets together. La la.
I was like, we could build a big hang glider.
And Baby's just like, I'm tunneling out. Who's with me?
Yep. And she's like, no, we're not gonna escape.
This is a highly organized theme park. I'm sure they've anticipated escape plans before we could possibly come up with.
Yep. And then she forces them to do the worst thing of all, which is family bonding.
Oh God, I thought you were gonna say paint because I hate painting, but yeah, that's worse too.
I mean, you could do that too while you family bond.
Oh God, family bonding. Ugh,
Yeah.
Disney bonding.
Yeah.
Bounding? I don't know what it's actually called.
She's like, but first we got to change that attitude.
Mm-hmm. So she gives them all lobotomies.
Yep. It's like, there's got to be something that we can do here with like a flashlight and stuff like that.
Oh, gee, Fran, I wouldn't exactly call that a plan. I'd call it hell on earth.
Yeah, Robbie's like, I'm going to throw myself on the electric fence.
Yeah, I'm right behind you, bro. So sticking with their suicidal tactics as per usual. But Fran just does decide she's going to MacGyver a game and asks everybody, like, what's something you can find? And, like, look around you, grab something. Let's put them all together.
Robbie's got a bottle cap.
Mm-hmm. What's Charlene got?
A piece of string.
Hell
To
yeah.
hang herself with.
What's Baby got?
Baby's got a furry apple core.
Good. All
That's
coming
a
to
weird-
plan.
That's a weird furry. I never heard of that one.
Yeah, well,
And,
yeah. You never know.
And Earl's like, I got his stroller, so I guess his rental's good for the rest of the week.
Yeah, so he's probably going to get charged with that at the end.
Right, so I really don't understand. So what are they playing?
Okay, well, what do you think they're playing? They got a bottle cap, a piece of string, an apple core, and a stroller. What?
So they use the wheel to like turn the wheel. They use like the string to turn the wheel, like it's like a roulette or something. Like
yeah, the apple core is the punishment.
Yeah, and then it rolls, right? And they're like, "Yay!" And
It lands on the bottle cap.
And then Earl's just like, "All right, do the horse, Fran." And she does her horse impersonation. What is that?
So basically, they've lost their minds. Is what we're learning here.
Clearly, and Earl must be turned on because he's like, "What a filly!"
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, he loves a horse girl.
And he
And
loves the horse girl.
They're all having fun. And Robbie's like, "Wow, what a great vacation! Sing-alongs, hotel rooms, scavenger hunts, late night heart-to-heart chats,
Weird horse role play.
Because they don't have separate rooms." So
yeah. So Earl puts it all on the line. He wants us to know that the episode has a conclusive like plot line where he says, "I feel completely relaxed and ready to go back to work with renewed energy and dedication."
Yep. And Charlene's like, "You know what? I never thought you could have such a good time with your own family."
With your own family. Usually I just go around with other people's families having a good time.
Yeah. My friend's like, "I knew we could do it. You know what? This is so great." And Baby's like, "Yeah, I love vacation. I love wet sticks."
I love wet sticks, Mom.
And they're like, "Can we come back to We Say So Land next year?" And I was like, "Of course."
I like that. I accidentally put that Fran asked. I said, "Hey, Dad. Hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy." She's sitting on his lap and like in that photograph. Hey, Stallion. Hey, Cowboy.
And then the lights turn off because they didn't put enough money in for the lights.
Yeah, $3 for another hour, which means if they've had lights for as long as they've had to enjoy these 13 days, they've been spending a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, but it's okay because it's not real money, Ben. It's
well,
Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's true. But money isn't real money either. It's all a lie. It's a facade. But speaking of facades, this episode is over, and now we can cut the facade and we get to talk business.
Right.
Yeah, business. So you listened to our episode. Do you think it was free? No, you got to Venmo us.
Yep, $30 a piece.
Yeah, $30 a piece. At I don't know our Venmo, so just get with our people.
Our people.
Yeah, our people. Well,
not your people.
Well, I mean, like, I don't think we should separate people, especially if they're fighting. Keep them together.
Like the fighting Irish.
Oh, I don't like the Irish. I didn't know that's where we're going with that. Tim McGowan. Doxed. Hashtag doxed.
Zach, take that out.
Don't worry. He's getting his name changed soon when he gets married. Tim the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, that's me. Celtics, the Boston Celtics.
On that note, as we conclude this episode, which is a fine episode. It's like it had some funny bits, hit or miss. I can see why it didn't make it for the actual run and was saved for later.
But I wonder what they took out.
It's probably just like straight up like
Disney references.
Like probably a few more like buying like hats or something that have the ears, and like or like doing like having dinner at the fucking Cinderella's castle for $100 a pop.
Oh god, waste of money.
I went there and I remember like being my grandma was paying, so I was like trying to find the cheapest thing on the menu because I was 12 and still that anxious about that kind of thing. And like the cheapest thing was still like I remember it being $17, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then I had to get it. It was a steak.
Yeah, that sucks.
By cheapest thing, I meant like I wasn't gonna eat chicken tenders like a little punk. So I had to
baby.
Like a baby. I was 12. Baby. I stopped at Ron John's surf shop on the way there and bought a skateboard and Tecum Deckums.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I bought Pokemon Crystal right before we left.
Dang.
That dates this story. That's exactly around when that came out.
Yeah, that definitely dates the story.
And then my dog ate it later, like a few months later, chewed it up.
The game?
Yeah, chewed the fucking game up. I cried. Well, I cried because I felt bad about killing my dog afterwards, but you know.
Yeah, that happens.
I didn't even get to unlock the mystery of the unknown and find out that there's no fucking reward for doing it.
Oh, that's bullshit. Never do that. Okay, everybody.
Hate myself for that.
Everybody, if you're playing Pokemon.
Yeah, this is the real reason we brought you here today.
Don't do the stupid side quests. Don't catch all the unknowns.
There's
don't
even none worth it.
Don't even catch all the Pokemon. Catch the ones you like. Make a cool team.
Catch enough to get catch enough like in the ones where you start getting like if you have 100 Pokedex, you get like item finder and like XP share. Those things. Do that. That's it. Well, afterwards, you don't even have to catch them anymore.
In the newer games, you don't even need that, man. They give you all that stuff like right in the beginning.
Yeah, because you just if you see a Pokemon, it counts in the newer games, which is what I thought it was supposed to be like in the show, but I could be wrong.
No.
Like, how do you not identify what a Pokemon is by like seeing it? Like, hey, there, it's a Pokemon. And also, like, how does the Pokédex already know all the Pokemon, but like you still have to? I don't understand that. Like, Ash is always like, he's like, what is it? He pulls out his Pokédex and it's like, it's a Raichu or something. And it's like, what was this mission? What is he doing then? Is he like quality assurance? Is he just testing to see if it got him all right?
I think it's just someone's plan to get all the young boys in the country out there and doing something with their
I think it's straight up. It's like when you give your like little cousin the controller that's not plugged in. Like they're just like, yeah, go do this thing. Get out of here, idiot. I'm gonna go fuck your mom, Ash. Professor Oak out.
Yeah, he did.
He needed to get rid of those like because he already like was fucking the other person in town because that's how he has grandkids at this point. So there's only one other house. He's like, I gotta get laid. Like, and there's only one other house.
It's his grandson. He doesn't even remember his name.
Yeah, so. That's how much he does not care. He's like one of the 4 people that live in the city, and he doesn't know his name, and he's his grandson. Like, what is Professor Oak's life?
Awesome, because
wake up, get fucked up. I'm Professor Oak, bro. I'm gonna choke a hoe. We're here in Johto.
Wake up in the morning feeling like Professor Oak.
Got a bitch to choke. Gotta tell another joke. And I'm broke. Break it out of Pallet Town.
Yeah, that's right. He does stand up. That's exactly what he does.
Yeah, it's Professor Oak. Professor Joke. He's like, how do you get a Snorlax and a Zapdos and a Moltres and a Pikachu all onto the same bus? You Pokemon.
That's what we called him in Team Rocket.
Yeah,
Professor Joke.
Oh, we called him Borlax. Borlax fucking helping everyone.
Gary Joke and
Gary Joke. I forgot about Team Rocket.
Yep, and you will too by the end of this episode, Ben, because it's over. What's the next episode we're doing, Ben?
The next episode is called Tim Restarts His Rocket Band and Let's Ben in it. And it's season 4, episode 11. It's coming up in a couple weeks. That's Life in the Faust Lane. Some reference that we don't get yet. So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
But it was I didn't write down who wrote it or directed it because I'll just do that next week. Like you'll know. You're not waiting on bated breath. I told you so much about the guys this week.
I keep holding my breath. So
yeah, well, somebody's got to hold your breath because PU. And speaking of PU, thank you to Zach George, the man of the hour, the man with the power to take a shower if he wants to, but he don't.
He probably should.
Well, he's got babies. He's busy.
Yeah.
I miss that guy. He just asked me if I wanted to hang out soon. I forgot to respond because I was too busy being like, I'm like spiraling. So I'm just like, oh, I'm so sad. And I need to distract myself by hanging out with people. And then somebody's like, we should hang out. And I'm just like, no, I'm busy being sad and wishing I had people to hang out with.
That's like when you get hired at a place and you're like, I will work anytime you need me. And then they ask you to come in, like, and you're like, nope, I'm busy.
I know. I always think that I'm that ambitious guy, but I'm just not, man. A workaholic. Yeah, of course. Hire me. And then it's just like they're like, we have not seen you in days, buddy. It's like, oh, I was working in the other part of the building. It's anyway, so fuck work. Fuck capitalism. But love Zach George and his podcast, Keystone Copycats. He edits and produces our podcast. So like, yeah, like if you like things that are better than this, you should check out his.
Right. And then if you like music better than ours, you should go check out Jeremy from Scout 2 Network.
Yeah.
They did our theme song.
That's cool. I'll do what go on.
Their tour just ended in Washington, D.C. They just did a big tour of just Jer songs, who their new album came out like 2 weeks ago.
It's doing well on the charts.
It is doing well. It's really good. You should check it out. It's a great album.
Also, Gutless from Florida and everywhere else just released a new single. You should check that shit out. There's like an anime music video or some shit too, I think.
Yeah, we single-handedly brought back AMVs.
Oh man, I made one to a Street Dog song once when I was like 14.
The first time I ever heard of Anti-Flag was because of an AMV.
Oh man, Anti-Flag. Yeah. George Soros funded Anti-Flag. But speaking of George Soros funded, you should check out
Amy.
Yeah, Amy's Shenanigans. We're doing our logo.
Wow, Amy's rich.
Yeah, well, you know. I didn't say he funded all the way. Just gave her a few bucks.
Just a couple. It's like he knows the Venmo.
Yeah, he Venmo'd. Yeah. So check out at Amy Shenanigans on Instagram. Like we said, check out Keystone Copycats on Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify. And then I need to find a new app, by the way. Sorry, Spotify, but like you don't have any comedy albums anymore because you are in an argument with comedians, which is I've learned from videos about hecklers you don't argue with comedians. So sorry, Spotify, you're not going to win. I'm just going to switch to Apple Podcasts like a little cuck. But speaking of being a little cuck, like we said,
I hate comedy, so I'll keep using Spotify.
There you go. And you hate Neil Young or Young Sheldon. Neil Young Sheldon is my new band. Fuck, got it.
No.
Neil Young Sheldon. Fuck yeah.
Like Michael Sarah Palin.
No, that one's not good. It is good. I wish I thought of it first. But
that's no, modern baseball shit.
Neil Young Sheldon. How's that modern baseball shit? Modern baseball didn't do that with their band name. And they don't sound like that band. That band sounds like Dikembe.
Oh, that's great.
If anybody's listening, just you don't want to get jumped by a bunch of kids with fucking skinny jeans. Bunch of fucking stoners with fucking like Carhartt beanies jump Tim after this episode. What, you talk shit about Dikembe? What are you, like Algernon Cadwallader still? Get over it.
Dang.
Yeah, gang.
Great
honestly
band.
Though, Dogs on Acid is just what those bands all wish they could sound like. Because I feel like it's in the same ballpark, but I like it.
Yeah, it's better than that.
So yeah, also like we said, also check out Zach's band Watterson on all the apps and shit. Check out Jer, Scout 2 Network, We Are the Union, Gutless. That's Tim's band that I'm legally in, but not legally.
Yeah,
it's
you're
it's for like when they're doing well. I tell people I'm in it.
You're the heavily copyrighted mascot for the band.
Exactly. I'm just the one who gets the drummer from Bob the Music Industry to come to the show. And then everyone was like, hey, Mike from BTMI's here. I'm like, yeah, I told him to be here. I was just surprised. I was just surprised anyone was there because it was morning when I played that
At least
set.
anybody. It was 11:30.
11:30.
That is not the
at
morning.
a faraway venue.
That's not the morning.
That is literally AM, which stands for morning. It was.
I had already been up for like 5 hours.
That's straight edge awakeness. I'm not straight edge.
Well,
I
we
am
can't
now,
all be
kind of.
perfect.
So whatever.
We can't all be
265
perfect.
days sober.
And
We can't all be perfect. Yeah. Well, tell that to fucking Simple Plan's dad.
sorry, I can't be perfect. Dark.
Nothing lasts at all. Nothing
Yeah,
lasts
just like that.
forever.
All right, Ben. Let's get this. We're done.
Let's get out of here. Yeah. Let's
Do the
fucking go.
plugs.
What do you
Do
want to
the
do after
plugs.
this? We already did.
Do
Oh
the
yeah.
plugs.
Instagram at a dinosaur's tale. Twitter at a dinosaur's tale. Gmail sinclaritypodcast@gmail.com. My personal mail is justawful@musician.org. I just got this email address. So you can send me a personal message there. I only use it to have
Justin
difficult
Awful.
conversations with my partner. Just
right.
insane.
Check
So,
out Anti-Flag at Fest this year.
Yeah, if you want to stick around for after this episode, you can help me work on some spreadsheets, everybody. So like that's what I'm gonna be doing. And I'm gonna grind some copper pieces with So I'll go be extinct, and I hope you guys enjoy doing the same.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym and become extinct.
Tim's getting swole secretly. He's hiding it behind his beard and his t-shirt, but next week he's gonna rip them both off.
That's right. I'll rip my beard off.
Like it's a telephone book at a school assembly.
For Jesus.
For Jesus. Oh shit. I gotta go talk about Jesus somewhere. All right. I'll see everyone
All
next 2 weeks from now. Love ya.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Say grace.
Grace.